Hello and welcome, and happy holidays. I'm Hateri Gregan, and I'm back from Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. And this is brought to you from my parents' home, my old home back in Southern California, to which I'll be here for a little over a day from now. A little more than a day longer before I head back to Chicago and you got the usual setup. So, this episode and Saturday's video, the first episode of Vigilantes, will be in the setup, but moving forward, I'll go back to the usual setup. I'm actually using my phone camera. Well, I always use my phone camera, but my phone is kind of perched on my suitcase right now, and my mic and my laptop are just on the bed, basically, that I sleep in the guest room. So we're making it work, though. The window is open because it's a little hot in here. You may or may not hear the rain. I don't know if it's going through completely, but you might hear a little bit of pitter pattering in the background. But regardless, I hope you all have had a nice break. If you've had a break, spending times with your loved ones, whether that's family, friends, or even just yourself, because you're a loved one too. And I appreciate your patience as I haven't had the time and or the energy to record because I've been a little sick. Uh, yeah, and also I didn't want to post a video on Christmas because I wanted you to spend it with other people you actually care about. Regardless, Christmas is past, and I'm not the kind of person who likes to drag on Christmas for longer than it needs to. I like to keep busy, so here we are, we're back. Then we're watching more JJK. So last time it was very much a build-up episode, kind of getting pieces where they need to be before the action really starts picking up again. Now, don't take that to be a demerit or a point against it. Far from it. I think shows that aren't afraid to have those build up episodes and don't feel the need to constantly engage the audience with excitement and like hype moments that doesn't focus on sensationalism. Surprisingly, coming from me, I'm sure. The shows that don't focus on sensationalism, that really take their time, are hard to come across, especially for a shonen anime. So it feels good. It's nice and reassuring that they're willing to do that. They're willing to have these setup episodes. I think a lot of stories, every story has setup episodes, especially shows with longer arcs, but the way they go about handling them says a lot about what their goals and how they think of their audience. Which is one of the real things I really like about the final arc of MHA, about season 7, especially like the first half of it. They really take their time building up the final battle because they know that's just as important as the actual hype moments itself. And similarly, JJK is keeping the tensions high without without worrying about losing the audience's attention in a sense. And a large part of that is thanks to Akutami because the content itself is really good. We have this kind of it's a pivotal moment. It's the word I kept looking for, the term I kept looking for that I couldn't find the words for last episode was inflection point. This is very clearly an inflection point, both for the story and uh for the characters within the story and for the story as a narrative overall. Gojo has been sealed. We've learned that Geto is not Geto, but his body seems to kind of remember him, so he can resist a little bit. I also realized last time I was just referring to the fake Geto as brain without any context. I read it in a comment from one of my usuals, Alex. He said he would just be referring to that in the meantime, just so he wouldn't have to say like fake Geto or whatever. So I just took that as like, hey, Brain's a pretty good name. So I just started calling him Brain, and I realized I never explained that. I figured it would kind of be self-explanatory, but just in case you were curious, and for moving forward until I get a name for him, I will be calling him Brain. And who knows, maybe like Volcano Head, once I get a name for him, I will keep calling him Brain. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. But for now, Brain is obviously not Geto, but it seems like Geto is either still in there or at least his instinct to resist being controlled by somebody else is still in there, so he's able to fight back. Similarly, Gojo is also fighting back despite being currently trapped. He's weighing down the prison, I assume through his infinity, like the infinite weight, which is just crushing it and keeping it from and immobilizing it effectively, which also immobilizes Geto, Brain, because he obviously has to keep watching over it, so no one can free him. However, that works. So but he's the only one who's really stuck there. Hanami is still dead, and Volcano Head, Choso, and Mahito are going through perhaps one of the most a really interesting breakdown sort of the antagonist's team, in a sense. Choso and Mahito both have a bone to pick with with Yuji. They both want to kill Yuji, but Volcano Head wants to activate Sukuna because Sukuna, the king of curses, is essential to Volcano Head's purpose of creating a world where cursed spirits are on top. A world that he doesn't necessarily need to be around for. One of the only things I can commend Volcano Head for. The fact that he's fully willing to not be around for the world he wants to see created. So his desires are purely like altruistic, if you want to call it that. I'm using a lot of air quotes this episode, but I guess it's just fitting. But his altruism, in a sense, is in direct contrast to Mahito, who directly stated that curses, at the end of the day, are beings of desire, or beings of they're beings of impulse. That's the word. They act on their desires. They live according to how they feel. And Mahito wants to kill Yuji. Choso wants to avenge his brothers by killing Yuji. So now the three of them are basically racing to see. We've got kill, awaken, and we're going to see who's going to get who. So it seems like Geto's the only one who's going to be watching Brain is the only one who's going to be watching Gojo and the prison realm. And I don't know. We'll see if that might be one of our keys to getting out of there, especially since we have another group who's waiting to strike against Brain, some of Geto's followers, the two teenagers. So many pieces are in place. And I think one of the most interesting things about last episode that I didn't really realize until like yesterday. I was like mulling it over in my head, but last episode, the antagonist fractured while the protagonist really gathered together. Yuji obviously made his way over to Shibuya. He met up with Fushiguro, Nanami, and Ino. It seems like Nanami is going elsewhere, so Ino really he's got a lot of people on a leash. I can't wait to see him fight. I've been promised that he is incredibly powerful. After all, he is, throughout heaven and earth, he alone is the honored one, and he could easily take on Sukuna. So I'm incredibly excited to see him pop off, or to see him not pop off, because he can't reveal his powers. Otherwise, he'll become a target. We'll see. Regardless, I already like him. Ino's great. We've seen him in the sewers last time with Nanami, so I look forward to seeing more of him. But Yuji met up with them, and all three teams have like entered into the bounded field. The bounded field, that's Nasuverse. They've entered into the Veil, and things are really starting to kick up now. Again, the heroes came together, the villains kind of split apart, so it's really cool seeing that dichotomy. So while Gojo being trapped is like a massive loss, to the point where Brain doesn't even want Yuji anymore because that was just a failsafe in case trapping Gojo didn't work. So he's already basically prematurely declared victory. And yet, the pieces and how they're falling apart and how they're laying out on the board are going completely against their favor. So they got the massive win of sealing Gojo, but the heroes are coming together, the villains are fracturing. So it's really just back and forth on these scales, right? So it's anyone's guess where things will go from now. So I'm really excited. I'm not going to waste any more time. I've rambled on for quite a long time because I've just been sitting on this episode for a little while. So I've got a lot of thoughts about it. So I'm excited for it. I hope you're excited for it as well. If you are, please do make sure to like the video. It shows me that you enjoy it, and it shows the algorithm that more people will enjoy it. So it'll show it to more people. If you want to get notified when new videos come out, please do subscribe. Again, it shows me that you like it, and it lets you get notified when videos come out. I watch JJK 3 times a week. I also watch Freerun 3 times a week. And the last one is for MHA Vigilantes, which I will be starting tomorrow. So yeah, that's the deal. And with all that YouTuber housekeeping out of the way, though, let's just hop into JJK Season 2, Episode 11. Let's see what we've got. Setup is so shoddy. It gets the job done, though. Ooh, trying to break the barrier. The veil. They all should have a weak point, but it's hard to find. I remember hearing that it was generally usually at the top because it's the hardest place to access. But if you can hit it, then you can break it. Yeah, Yuji is incredibly powerful. Just by imbuing his attacks with cursed energy, not even using a technique necessarily. He is, and without even using, just casually roundhouse kick. But oh, yeah, it's one of the most important ones. But the fact that Yuji is practically grade 1 level without using any techniques is insane. But it's probably like before where it's going to be like a cursed object. In that case, good luck finding that. Oh, interesting. I've not heard of that. So it increases the chance of them being found, but it strengthens it because of the give and take method. The give and take essence of cursed energy and cursed techniques. Is that why? Yeah. Great framing. Shibuya Central Tower. That framing is awesome, with it just in the background and then the focus changes. It's so good. It's nothing special, but it's so good that it's special in its own right. Oh. Are they curse users? So that's who they were. I thought they were a third party. Wait, really? Wow, just like that. That's incredible. Good trusted veil. Yeah, it is. Gotta break it. I feel like they could have tried a lot harder to hide it, though. I mean, there are so many. You could have like hit it somewhere in the building, but it's possible that there's a reason why it needs to be like exposed. This is fun. This will make a great like a video game. Just search and find. Oh, he's got them. What the heck? That's so cool. The wire? Just jump off the building, why not? Wow. What a dynamic fight. Okay, let's see what this... Let's see what Baba's got. Can't be looking lame. Yep. Ooh, can't let them get ahead of you. I noticed we haven't gotten the opening yet. The show's always been really good with that. It puts the opening exactly where it needs to. It doesn't feel rushed to do it. A lot of shows struggle with that. Oh, did he just... Yeah, there's no blood or anything. Something's off. He's probably trying to trick you. Yeah. Plus his composure was flat even as he was being thrown around. The pause. Oh, I don't like his face. Oh, the shadow behind Fushiguro. That's so good. Special. Oh, this opening is so good. It's so good. Oh, the atmosphere is just... Oh. Like, the absolute balls you need to do to have the entire opening just have this red glow. But not like One Punch Man Season 3, where it's just, like, randomly putting on filter. It's like, it's an actual glow, like a miasma. It looks so cool. It's so moody. And I can't wait for it to be foreshadowing of something to come. Yeah, we need to get the Kyoto people involved. I wonder when that'll happen. You are my special. Oh, I didn't notice the prison realm was behind him in that shot. So that's the moment he sees Geto, turns around, and that amazing piano track starts playing. We are special. So good. Such a good tone setter. Also, I think that last shot with Yuji is the only shot without the red glow. Very interesting. Why are you what? Uh-oh. So insistent on my recommendation.
やっぱ数字って大事だと思うんですよ。特に術師みたいに血生臭い職業には。
So he doesn't need a recommendation? He's skilled enough to not need it?
悪いから数字の通し方がわからなくなることがある。だから迷った時こう考えるんです。
What feels right?
ナナミさんなら
What would Nanami-san do? Wow. What would Himmel the Hero do?
止められずに一級ってのは嘘でしょ。
Wow.
飲み物を追加します。
He's a man of principle.
来訪随従一番。
Vicious beast summon. Oh, he's a summoner. Shikigami? Whoa. That does not look like a beast. That... Oh. Interesting. The seance, I think that's the opening. That's the title. Four auspicious beasts. Interesting. Alex, you know what to do. If you know, you know.
2番、霊気。ナナミさんに任された以上、2人を放ってはおけねえが。
Entrusted them
か
to
といって
you.
こいつら引き連れていくのもちげえよな。ベストは瞬殺して後輩チャンスと交流だ。
I assume by the two he means the curse users. He's like sliding on the water. That's cool. His expression just blank. Oh, there we go. Now we're getting some motion. Wow, the water they're like shields. Completely stopping momentum. Adapt and control. Just focus on victory. Oh, on the ceiling? That's cool. Okay. Wow. Yuji's a beast. Is his skin just like up? It must be like a defensive technique. Because none of their attacks they're landing, but they're not like hurting him. His attacks sure are though. I guess just blunt damage. Gotta get that black flash out, Itadori. Yuji. We're gonna need that black flash in. This guy is... Yeah, he's got serious defense. He's a tank. Mm-hmm. He puts everything into endurance. Unless there's a trick, he's like a puppet or something. But even then... Oh, commento there. What is she? He's defending her. Is she trying to like cast a advanced technique or something? Like takes time to charge up. I've got a really bad feeling about this lady. Yeah. You clearly have to stop her. This is not going to be good. That is really uncomfortable. What is it? Okay. Wait. Is that one of the cursed paintings? The womb? I thought they only had 3 though. Toji? Wait. No. No. Seance. It's like calling in the spirit of Toji. Yeah, seance. Calling in the spirits of the dead. So I assume it's obviously not actually bringing in their spirit, but probably like bring in their strength. Like raising his curse energy to their level or something like that. What? Is that Gojo? The white hair, I have to assume. Yeah, blue eyes Gojo. Tanjo.
パパ、誕生日おめでとう。プレゼントは私の制服姿です。かわいいでしょ。やっぱ森学にしてよかった。
別にいいけどさ、そんなに自信満々だといつかママみたいになっちゃうぞ。
ママみたいに。
ママ嫌い？
Who's this?
嫌いじゃないけど浮気したからな。
Don't tell me this is Gojo's dad. Ooh.
パパかわいそう。
Who is this?
誰？
Oh, what?
娘を。
Daughter. Oh. You need a corpse? Jeez. Oh. Okay, so we're going through learning about each of them. He's pulling off their faces. Oh, skinning them. Oh. Oh my god. Scalping them. Uh-huh. Curse users, sorcerers outside of the Jujutsu world. Mm-hmm. But...
五条悟？ええ、五条家に生まれた陸眼の子供です。
Mm-hmm.
すでにトータルの賞金が億を超えています。ああ、これは依頼で。
It's $1 million right there.
早い者勝ちですよ。
And that's only gonna go up. But a bounty, is that like an underworld, I assume?
お待たせしました。
Don't tell me it's the elders trying to deal with him. Surely not. He's much too powerful. Unless he's a risk, and that's why they put a bounty on his head. So this is well before hidden inventory. He's gonna look at them, isn't he? Or is he not even? Oh. Don't even try it. Wow. He wasn't even looking at her. Jeez. Exactly why? Because of him?
陸上競技の不動の世界記録が急に更新され出すように、フィギュアスケーターがある選手を境に次々とジャンプの回転数を上げるように、
Everyone realized what was possible. Oh my god. The ceiling was raised. Wow.
自由だった。晩年にしてその自由を奪われた。
Stolen from us.
ふざけんな。
By Gojo?
俺は生涯現役。
Gives you a sense of power. Makes you feel like you're in control. Maybe because of how weak you felt in front of Gojo. Feel like you need to compensate. Though he might have been like that beforehand. Scalping was pretty disgusting. It seems like skin hardening or something, but then the blunt impact of falling would have hurt him too. It should have still killed him, so it can't just be defense. The heck? Yeah. We don't have to fear him. That's why we're out here. Yeah. It's gotta be something Gojo could have easily dealt with. I mean, I guess Infinite Void would have dealt with them, but is he gonna use his own? Oh, grab it! Whoa, that's... Oh no, I'm getting ReZero flashbacks. No, not the red-eyed bunnies. Oh no. Oh, what? That's a lot of bunnies. Okay. Oh jeez. This isn't going well, is it? Yeah. Yeah, you're not equipped to deal with... You're not equipped to deal with Bushido. There's no way. Does he actually get his strength? Oh shoot. Oh god. So she can transform herself or other people. Yeah, you don't stand a chance. Oh jeez. Just a ball of bunnies. Or they just gonna all descend on you and just start eating. Whoa. It was a... Oh. Just gonna try to crush him. Oh. Dang. But that wouldn't work either, yeah. But if falling's not gonna work, something falling at him's not gonna work. But Fushiguro clearly figured something out. But what? What did he figure out? No to roller! Ooh, he's actually exerting himself now. Huh. What is it? Yes, yes. Is it time? Oh, that was clean. That was a really clean cut. What? It inverses impact? Whoa. So falling from a height would do insane damage, so it does nothing. What? So they need to hit with like nothing. They need to give him a love tap. And it gets stronger if they hit him with the weakest attack. They tricked him by using big attacks. How did you figure that out? Oh. My weaker attacks were doing more. Oh, the JJK theme is playing. Mm-hmm. Massive impact to nothing. Exactly, yeah, just walking. So it has to be at a certain point, a certain lower limit. Exactly. Just like this microphone. It's got a certain point where it tries to raise the volume, but too low of a volume just doesn't get read. But if it's high enough volume, it raises it up so the volume is stable. Wow. Interesting. Hit him with both. That's what the elephant was for. Make them think they're doing full power. Yup. Wow, so clever. Good job, Fushiguro. Ooh. Just the tongue. Overwhelm him with strong and weak attacks. Wow. Yeah, because if they projected it, if they like told him out loud that they figured him out, he could have just turned it off. They need to keep alternating because they don't know when he'll turn it on and off. And I bet that's what's gonna happen. He's gonna turn it off and they'll get hit with a strong attack. Oh, that's so clean. Wow. He didn't even hit. Oh, wow. Wow. Well done. Surprisingly, come on, he's always had good battle sense. And that's Spain. Wow. The after credit scene, it doesn't look like it. Okay. Wow. What a fun episode. That was good. Some great action, introducing some characters, some curse users, and showing the appeal of the curse users, right? These people serve as kind of this sign of the kind of people that will come out if Gojo's able to remain sealed. Basically a proof of concept of what Ino was talking about last time, about what will happen to the world, what kind of people will start to surface. These people represent that, because they were literally waiting for this opportunity. So interesting. So presumably they were working with Brain because he would seal away Gojo, and they were, once he sealed it away, they came out. Or maybe they're not working with him because they came out because he was sealed. So it could be that they figured out that this veil was connected to Gojo being sealed, so they're trying to defend it. I don't know. It's interesting. Could be a number of things, but regardless, the point is the same, right? Point's the same. CD's growing on me a lot. Visuals are still kind of whatever, but the song feels really fitting for the art, especially the start of it. The just little set photo. They did hear from him, okay. Huh. Alright, that was JJK Season 2, Episode 11. Really solid episode. Some really great animation, some good fights, and a really interesting introduction of some new, obviously not long-term characters. They're kind of one-off antagonists, but characters that are very indicative of the world that we can't allow to come to pass. So they try to attack it, and then they explain something interesting, which is that staying outside of the veil puts them at risk, which causes it to become stronger. I'm not sure what this is. 1 second. Okay, interesting. So apparently the Egg of Columbus idea is based on a story where Christopher Columbus basically was told it was impossible to stand an egg up on its tip. And it represents the impossibility of him going and finding a new world by sailing west. Well, not finding a new world. He wasn't trying to do that, but sailing west to end up in the Indies. And the idea is that a seemingly impossible task suddenly becomes easy effectively once it's understood. So the idea of like trying to figure out how to, I assume they're talking about breaking the barrier and hiding outside seems it seems impossible to break it, but once you figure out how it works, it's pretty easy, because once you realize how it works, then you can easily counter it. But as long as you don't know how they're doing it, then it's basically impossible to counter, because otherwise they would have just been searching inside the veil all this time for it. But now that they realize that being outside makes it stronger, then it's easy, because we just have to search right around it in close enough proximity to make it strong, but somewhere not easy to find. And of course, thanks to the framing of this scene, which is really great, it blurs it out. This is like the most classic framing in the book, right? Have something in the background that is notable but blurred out, and that is where they want to direct your attention to, and what's important, and what is going on with the visuals here. And it's like slowly panning up with the red lights flashing on top of it, obviously for aircrafts. And then they slowly blur out, and it comes into focus. Great visual. It's both a visual gag and just great direction. Literal direction, directing your eyes towards that. But obviously this is just really cool. I mentioned it during the episode, but we've seen cursed energy and cursed techniques have a very give and take essence to it, effectively. Heavenly pacts, heavenly restrictions, like Mekamaru, like Toji, Fushidio, as we saw, like Maki, where you give something, you take something away. And on top of that, there's the idea of explaining your technique puts you at a disadvantage, but it strengthens your technique as a result. So the whole give and take, sacrificing something to gain something else, is deeply embedded into the Jujutsu world. So it makes sense that increasing your odds of being caught by staying outside of a veil makes it stronger, because it's give and take. So it's really cool. I really like that about this magic system. The consistency of it, and just the different applications. And then these guys turn out to be the people we need to defeat in order. It's just got this crazy wire thing, which is super cool. They've got this, these guys, which I thought were just a third party waiting and watching, but they're actually defending the nails. There are 3 of them. They got one of them, but the other 2 are held by the big defense guy, the inverse guy. And then there's no blood or anything. He's clearly okay, because it was a big impact, so it barely did anything to him because of his technique. Very cool. Very, very good. And then I noticed this about the opening. I never really noticed it before. But yeah, I think this is the only bit in the opening that the visuals kind of bugged out for some reason, but it's the only bit in the opening that doesn't have the red glow. It's really interesting. So this kind of feels like this is probably after the incident. I wonder if this is such an inflection point that Yuji will actually part ways, if he'll go his own way, or if this just this signifies potential isolation. I can't help but also notice the duality. Like in lieu of the red glow, there's what looks like the sunset, or perhaps the sunrise to his left, and it feels like he's standing between worlds, perhaps the human world and the curse world, or both the Jujutsu world and the curse users world. And he kind of like stands on that line. We know that he's already like been described like, or he's been placed as a big mechanism of blurring the lines between curses and humans. So that's kind of the visual I get from this. That's the idea I get from this, that he stands on that boundary, kind of, with the light and the darkness of the sky. Which the light could be either the sunset or the sunrise. It's hard to tell. But this feels like after the battle, like he's making a choice. I wonder if he'll go his own way. It'd be really interesting. And then this is a lovely conversation between Ino and Nanami. You don't need a recommendation. You could easily become semi-first with your technique. But it's important to do things the right way, especially with bloody work like being a sorcerer. I'm not that bright, so sometimes I don't know what the right way is. Very simple. Kind of like the, I forget his name, but the guy who was in the last episode of the Hidden Inventory arc. The guy who was talking with Geto as he was being kind of weighed down by his conscience. I don't remember his name, but he was that like, I'm not super bright, so I just kind of do what I can do. I do what feels right. So whenever I'm at a loss, I think of what would the person I respect do? Probably do things the right way. Look for approval. Get approval from your master, and not just be confident in your own strength. So he's moral. He's very grounded, which is really cool. And then the seance, and he's got this crazy technique where he can like call upon 4 different beasts, and they can't seem to hit him. Fushiguro has trouble matching pace with Yuji because Yuji's just a monster, but they just can't seem to hurt him. And then this guy's defending the old lady because it turns out she's activating her seance effectively. And we get, oh god, oh jeez, why are the visuals doing this? And then this is just an episode of trauma. Obviously, Fushidio's here, and if you've seen ReZero, then I don't need to explain why the bunnies give me trauma. If you haven't, then watch ReZero. It's incredible. This is kind of a weird relationship between father and daughter. It's a little weird, but it's not really a relationship anymore because they're both dead. So she kills him, and we learn about their pasts. We learn about their lives. This isn't a request. There's a bounty on him. It's first come, first serve. And they're all thinking of going for him, but he just looks at them, and they are just shook. And then this is really interesting. The same as when a track and field record suddenly broken. Same as when skaters suddenly started doing multiple jumps. The balance of the world changed when Satoru Gojo was born. It was a paradigm shift, right? The power ceiling was suddenly lifted. Obviously, Gojo is not the strongest here. Even in Gojo's past arc, when he's a student, he's not the strongest. We see the moment when he really becomes the strongest, or he is inevitably set on his path to become the strongest when he awakens, when he becomes enlightened, if you would. But the moment he's born, things are different. He is different, clearly. His family always has the eyes, so that's not special, but I assume it's the possibility, right? It's the potential of what he can become. As soon as that happens, the world changes. Because limits are often set by the person, or set by the society, set by the expectations. Limits are rarely actual physical limitations. They're almost always conceptions. They're almost always beliefs. Like, oh, I can't do this. Oh, this is what's expected. Oh, this is whatever is the most that someone has accomplished in a given field. That is the ceiling, right? The power ceiling, as we say in shonen, as we say in not shonen, but as we just generally say in battle stories, battle shonen, if you would. The power ceiling is the strongest, the highest potential that someone has achieved. And that is what everyone believes. Okay, that is now as strong as we can be. I want to aspire to be like that. But what changes when someone new is born who has a potential, or who just does break through that ceiling, who redefines what it means to be strong, that's when things get different. Because we realize, oh wait, our preconceptions were actually self-limiting beliefs. We were limiting ourselves by what we thought was possible. And suddenly we all want to keep up. We all want to catch up. We all want to race ahead to that new frontier. It's been expanded. It's going back to Christopher Columbus, when he discovered the new world, and when they realized that there was a whole world out there. Suddenly everyone's up in arms. The world's just become wider. The world's just expanded, despite nothing actually changing. But your perception of the world. Because perception is important. Perception precedes reality. Perception defines reality, you could even say. So when Gojo is born and that power ceiling raises, suddenly everyone wants to race up to not be left behind. And the world changes. The whole balance shifts. Really interesting. Really cool. And it's especially cool because it's not the moment he awakens. Like the moment he's born, people realize something is different. Something has changed. He's clearly different. And then they realize. Well, Fushiguro realizes something. And then my second trauma point, don't need bunnies. At least they didn't start opening their little chompers. They just turned into a sphere to block his attention while they discuss themselves. Just getting a little tight. Hold on 1 second. There we go. And is he some kind of famous sorcerer? I guess he was in the shadows, so a lot of people wouldn't know about him, and also it was before his time, but Fujidio is just an absolute monster. You don't stand a chance. I really hope he's okay. I really But with what happened to Ichiji, I'm not gonna hold my breath. Distracts with numbers, yeah. And then they all disappear. And I love how Fushiguro goes about handling this. He uses this massive elephant to try to crush him with brute force. Not because he actually wants to kill him with that, but he wants to give off the impression that they're still using everything they've got. Because if they expose themselves and he's using his big strength, then this guy actually feels it. And yeah, they trick him because... Hold on, was it the cut here? Yeah, here it is. Hold on, before I go with what I was about to say. This cut is just absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, the ground is obviously on 1s, and Yuji himself is on 2s, it looks like. No, he's on 1s too. Wow, yeah, that's why it was so smooth. Wow, look at that. And of course, the impact frame as he's stepping on, the impact frame of his foot hitting the ground breaking. It's so smooth. The energy oozing from his fist. And they perfectly fool him. It's so clean. Let's see. I want to see it again. It's right. Here we go. So clean. But that's the point, right? Is to trick him. It's because they want him to... They can't... Oh, that's a good shot. No one has dodged my counter after landing their finishing blow. Nice. Because they think they've got it they think they've got it in the bag, and he uses that to completely to pull out the rug out from under them, right? But the reason that they can't give away that they've caught onto his technique is because you need to hit him with weak attacks, basically, to deal good damage to him, because it inverts it under a certain point. So the reason why they can't give away that they figured it out is because they need to hit him with weak attacks. If he catches on that they've caught on, he just needs to deactivate the technique. And all of a sudden, they're just love tapping him. And even now, like, if they start hitting him, the reason why they start alternating attacks, strong, weak, not like every other, but like randomly mixing them up, is because when we tell... the same thing. When he catches on that they're catching on, he'll just deactivate it, and he can reactivate it. So we need to keep him guessing so that he can't know if the weak attacks or the strong attacks are the ones he needs to watch out for, which is really cool. It's really great. And they fool him completely. So they alternate attacks, and they completely caught him off guard. And if he gets pierced through by a frog's tongue, how embarrassing. Don't get cocky. And then he stops the attack, and I don't know if he stops it and then just hits him with another attack, or if this is the divergent fist, where he like doesn't actually hit him, but the after effect of the cursed energy is what hits him. It could have been that. I didn't see cursed energy though, so I think it's just he stopped as a trick and then went through with his punch, and it worked perfectly. It sent him flying for just a moment, just to give you that sense of ease. And that's the episode, and it ends so abruptly. It's funny, it's great, it's so great. It's so abrupt, but also gives you that moment of peace. You're surprisingly adept. So, and then to the ending. Great, awesome, fantastic episode. I enjoyed it thoroughly. This is a great way to pick back up after the build-up episode, really start to raise the stakes, while also following through on the ideas presented last episode with Ino, with Gojo, and also to start dealing with the Veil, right? Start dealing with Peacewise. We don't want to send them at the final boss. We know that the special grade curses and Choso are hunting down Yuji. So this is kind of something to get us ready, get us back into the action, while also not being inconsequential and showing us the potential consequences of what happens if we fail, if we can't reawaken Gojo. So really all around super solid. The narrative devices they're using, the narrative structuring is incredible. I am loving this arc, and I'm seeing why it's so highly rated. And I'm sure I'm only getting started. It's only going to get more crazy. So if you're excited for that, if you're excited to watch me as I go through the second half, I think I'm now entering the second half of season 2 effectively. if you're excited for that, please do subscribe. Get notified whenever they come out. They come out 3 times a week. I plan to be caught up by the first or second episode of season 3 when it drops in January. If you also like Fragrant, I'm also watching that, so subscribe for that. Please do also remember to like the video. It really helps me out, and it really helps other people find this video because the algorithm likes that. It really likes comments, engagement, and watch time is the 2 big things that the algorithm looks for. So yeah, if you've watched this far, you've already helped with the watch time, so thank you. But the likes and the comments are really great for engagement, and it's really great for me and for actual engagement, because if you comment on something, whether it's in the episode, something I missed, something I didn't talk about much, misunderstanding I have, or something I said that you agree or disagree with, or just context around the episode, please do leave it in the comments. I would love to open discourse with you. It is easily one of my favorite parts about this, because I like extracting value out of the shows I watch. In case you can't tell, I like talking about it. I like analyzing it. That's why I call it live analysis. And the analysis I can do, the value I can extract from the episode, is a fraction of the analysis of the value we can extract as a community once we discuss and open up discourse. So please do leave your thoughts in the comments below. I will respond to them. I will at the very least read them, and I will most likely respond to them just to really kick off that discourse. So I look forward to seeing you in there. I hope I'll see you in the next episode. But wherever I see you, until the next time, have a lovely rest of your day.